non-manual Advantage Plus is going to start appearing. We started hearing about it. We started seeing it in some of our campaigns. Meta said, we are investing 60 to 65 billion in AI in 2025. That's billion with a B. It's not just to create an open AI platform that will rival open AI, but this is to make the algorithm leverage the AI, to leverage all the data that they have, to leverage their advertising platform more effectively. It's the degradation of manual everything within Meta. And that's a big deal. It was always an option. Now it's like gone.
We now have a new update to Advantage Plus shopping, is now called Advantage Plus Sales. And this now defaults into each Meta advertiser's account. Essentially what this means is that what we were kind of, whistleblowing for like the last 3 months is that it doesn't look like any of our targeting or exclusions are working. Our solve for that was to do CAPI imports by new customers, returning customers, the product, new customer, by product, the returning customer. And this has been our fight against the man, I guess I would say, into regaining some sort of control so that we don't end up in a situation where you launch just a simple Advantage Plus sales campaign and then let, the targeting decide, the exclusions be decided by Meta. It goes into like Meta's little black box. And it is a very, very, very powerful campaign type. And when you can leverage it appropriately, is actually a lot easier than us fighting against it. So we've seen this inside of Data Suite, where we knew that the paid media platforms were messing up. I've basically made my name by saying, this is what they tell you. This is what actually happens. Right. The problem, though, is that we develop feeder strategy. We develop dogpile strategy. We develop, non-brand versions. Existing customers go this way. Optimize for new customers go that way. And we've been at the mercy of asking permission and begging and pleading the paid media platforms to do what we've been asking them to do, because they were listening to us for a decade. Until recently they said, you know what? My AI is smarter than your technical media buying. And sometimes that's right. Now, a lot of times that's right. The problem is it is so powerful that the technical media buying that is now kind of gone away, that has been replaced by AI, is in fact so powerful that it can attribute and contribute conversions extremely well. The problem is it may be on conversions you don't necessarily want. So we've been running some import tests, and those import tests that we have been actually now utilizing the new structure that I learned in Iceland that Meta wants all the advertisers to now use, which is actually way dumbed down and simplified. And it's because of that the paid media platforms such as Meta and Google are punishing you with conflicting data and results if you're not following it that way. So what does this mean for the general advertiser? It's actually become a lot easier for the general advertiser. If a person that has no technical media buying experience, Meta is trying to say that's okay, you don't need it. You don't need it. 5 years ago, me and Qasim like joked around with a prediction where it's like, just give us your website, give us your credit card, and we'll take it from there. We're now closer to that portion of the journey than ever before. However, you have now even less control. And that is a scary, scary thought when you're talking about, well, I have to make new customers for my clients. It's the only way to grow. You can only grow with new customers. You can re-engage. You can get existing customers to buy. It's a little more difficult, but it's much harder than trying to go after something that is new. And interestingly enough, the ABO model is now failing inside of Meta because of this update. And the team that I've been working with inside of Meta has explained the opportunity dedupe ad set algorithm that just went live. The deduping algorithm that just went live essentially means that when an opportunity is found in a same conversion event as in two different campaigns and or ad sets, Meta will now dedupe that opportunity into one, and you do not get to choose or identify which one that is. So what's interesting is if you have something that is and I'll give you a very simple example, a campaign with a certain amount of ads that are going after a prospecting audience that you used to define. Now that definition is gone, and now it is prospecting based on your words, phrases, your creative, the interpretation of that creative in the landing page that you're sending those users to.
Right.
Now, that is now your targeting. Well, when you launch another campaign with a different, potentially piece of creative for the same product, the people that are found now in ad set / campaign A cannot be found in ad set / campaign B. So
therefore, what becomes very important all of a sudden, but not all of a sudden, but even more so.
What has become the most important thing so far that we can leverage is your conversion actions. Your conversion actions now dictate how opportunities move. So you have add to cart campaigns, view content campaigns, purchase campaigns, great. But APO is gone. Creative testing is more complicated. They're no longer sharing users with your other creative, with your other non-creative. They're going after the same audiences, but they cannot be found in both audiences. So everything that we've kind of known has been kind of flipped upside down, and we've been testing it and leveraging it. And we've been seeing some pretty unbelievable results when we're using our data suite to import these conversions back into Meta and even into Google. So much so that it is scaling at a ridiculous rate. And also, we're now no longer at the mercy of the algorithms essentially choosing the type of customers, new versus returning, that it can go after. We now get to dictate it. I made an analogy that instead of buying the bathwater and buying the baby, but only really wanting the baby, and you kind of throw out the bathwater because it's like, I got some existing customers, but I paid a lot for them. And what is my actual cost to acquire a first-time customer? Well, let me dive into, data suite and let me see how the campaigns are kind of messing up. We're able to take back that control now. This a control that I think we've shared before, but now it's in a bit of a different structure. It looks more like this now. And I'll go ahead and share screen, please. Thank you so much. So what we found is that if I have a creative testing campaign, and this creative testing campaign is using the new version that Meta wants, which is CBO, minimal ad sets, almost all of your creative inside of one ad set. Now, what we ask for, it's kind of like Genie. What we ask for, we get. But it's like, this is like if Genie had a weird, sick, twisted sense of humor. Like, this is kind of what we're seeing. Like, Meta is now Genie. Because when we're looking at, those 32 purchase of immunes, we said, okay, I want immune purchases, which means I want my product of critical immune defense to be sold. And we have 35 sales. 32 of them are the product that's being sold. However, only 16 were new. We're like, well, dang. When we exclude existing customers, when we set our existing customer bid cap to 0, it gets ignored, even Advantage Plus. Let's try it again. 44 purchases, 42 immune, only 20, less than half are new customers. Same structure setup. We said, okay, well, what if we wanted the immune purchases, but what if we had them only new customers? That's when it says, okay, 50 sales, 42 new customers, 42 new customers of your immune. Perfect. We've increased this from a 50% to now like an 85%. We're 42 out of 50. Yeah. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. A 80% increase in the amount of new customers in a campaign is massive. So now we're saying, okay, what's really interesting about this is if we look at this is what's really crazy too, is we look at the NFC PA and we have 109 with per purchase immune. We spent 35.17, 35.17. Divide that by the only 16 amount of new customers that came in, we're spending 219. This one is already beating it at 203. This one got $219 NCAC. This was getting $203 NCAC. I spent more than twice as much on this, and this one was only running for a day. So I beat the other campaign running for 2 weeks because I said, no, I want this. This is okay. Here you go. At a cost is cheaper.
There is a reason for all this, right? If you look back to February, like I think it was their quarterly earnings call, and they talked about their investment in AI. And also they announced that Advantage Plus is going to be, this non-manual Advantage Plus is going to start appearing. And so we started hearing about it. We started seeing it in some of our campaigns. Obviously, the meta contacts that you have are giving you even more insights. The point is like, this has been coming, and if you sort of look at the history of advertising just in general, like if you haven't seen this coming, then you probably haven't been paying attention. There's also,
Right.
bless you, there's also a reason why, in that same earnings call, Meta said, we are investing 60 to 65 billion in AI in 2025. That's billion with a B.
Mhm.
And the amount of data centers that they're actually building, it's not just to create an open AI platform that will rival OpenAI. Obviously, they have their own LLaMA platform, but this is to make the algorithm, to leverage the AI, to leverage all the data that they have, to leverage their advertising platform more effectively, and to automate and utilize that AI. Because when you think about the algorithms inside the platforms, it's AI. It's machine learning at the end of the day.
Sponsored by NVIDIA.
You got it. Absolutely. The GPUs, baby. The point is all manufactured in Taiwan. But anyway, the point I'll set that aside for right now. The point is that this has been coming for quite some time. And if you didn't see it back in February, we dropped the link inside the notes here in case you didn't see that. But that was like your first shot. And our Meta, I don't know what they're called now, has been saying like this is coming for quite some time. We've been seeing it starting to appear, but it's basically it's the degradation of manual everything within Meta, and that's a big deal. It was always an option. Now it's like gone. It's like you have to live by this new rule that we are setting